Hello pre-service teachers. This video is for week 14 and it is designed to show you how to do the literacy homework policy assignment. There are several resources you're going to need to complete this assignment. All of them are available in the week 14 folder in Blackboard. And if you click on the week 14 folder, you will see that the files are attached to the Dropbox. The most important file that contains all the links is titled EDEL 4372 Homework Policy. If you open that PDF up, you'll be able to access all of the documents that I'm going to be talking about in this video. The first document that you need is Connecting Claims to Evidence Planner. I would recommend downloading this into Office 365 or Google Docs so that you can work on this as a group in real time. Everybody is going to fill in the topic. It's going to be the same for every single group, and it's going to be a question. Should elementary students have homework? Everybody's also going to fill in a claim. You can start with what you think right now, but note that as you read, your claim may change according to the evidence that you're presented with. So my claim is students in my future classroom should not have literacy homework because, and later I will fill that in with evidence attached to that. There are 7 articles that to gather your evidence. I'm going to chart the first article for you to model how it's done. This text set comes from the College Career and Community Ready Writers Program, which was a curriculum written by the National Writing Project. There are resources for 4th through 8th grade upper elementary, and there's all kinds of text sets, all kinds of planners. There's also lesson plans in there to help you get started with argument writing in your upper elementary classroom. So we're going to do a little sample of this today because most teachers are not super confident in teaching argument writing, and I thought this would be a good assignment to give you a little bit of practice on that. When you open up this link, you'll notice this is a relatively short article. The National Writing Project selected this size of article on purpose so that those 4th through 8th graders would be able to look through multiple articles in a single class period or 2 class periods. So as I read through this article, I'm going to annotate evidence that is relevant to my claim, and I'm specifically looking for whether or not elementary students should be given homework, in particular literacy homework. So anything that I find in this article, I'm going to document on my planner. And if you look here, you can see that I've filled some of that in already. I put the title with the author. I put the evidence in quotes because I'm taking that straight out of the article itself. I'm not paraphrasing yet. And I've recorded things like homework can sometimes feel like a burden that can cause frustration and tears. It may also take time away from families and having fun together because I feel like that is relevant to elementary students and to elementary students' parents. And then I paraphrase that and say, homework helps at the high school level, but there isn't a lot of research that says it helps at the elementary level. And then I'm going to comment on that piece of evidence. So this is my words, my opinion. I said most of the information in this article is targeted towards high school students. However, parents can take note of things like not doing the child's homework for them, not taking over, and not using threats or punishments. So what I want you to do is read through 3 to 4 more of the articles. Don't do the first one because I've done it for you, but you can use evidence from the first one. And I want you to fill in the top part of this planner. This way you are gathering your evidence and building the information that's going to go in the body paragraphs of your letter. Because these articles are so short, this should not take you a lot of time to do. And because you're doing this as a group, what you can do is assign a different article to each person so that every person in your group is only filling in the chart for one of the articles. This should take you, if you do it all together, maybe a total of 15 minutes. If you did it by yourself, I would say 20 to 25 minutes. Make sure that you do read through everybody's evidence that has been charted on the paragraph planner. Once you've finished charting your evidence and reading through all of those sources, you're going to go in and add your commentary to that. Because when you do an argumentative text, when you write that kind of text, you don't want to just plug in a quote, plug in a quote, plug in a quote. You actually want to respond to the quotes so that the reader gathers what your opinion is and makes you a credible speaker rather than just regurgitating what all of the authors that you read say. So for this, we're going to pull the same information. I've done source 1 for you from that Parents and Homework Helpful or Harmful article. I use the same evidence from the top of the chart, but now I'm going to go in and add some commentary. And I say, families today have to juggle a variety of activities in their schedule. Oftentimes, both parents in the home have to work and do not make it home until 5 p.m. With extracurricular activities, and I could keep going, blah, 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 talking about how difficult it is to get an hour's worth of homework, even 20 minutes of homework squeezed into everybody's already super busy schedules. So do that as a group, fill that in for the 3 to 4 sources that you looked at, and that's going to help build your response to the evidence that you've gathered. Once you've gathered your evidence and hashed out your commentary, you're going to choose one of the kernel structures to work with. These kernel structures come from Gretchen Barnaby. She has several books out. She's a great resource for writing teachers. And you'll see that there are 4 on this list that you can choose from. The one that I want to play around with is the third one, which has an overview of the issue. One side thinks, another side thinks, and then give a we need to. Like as teachers, this is the policy we need for literacy homework. And then the last thing that you're going to do is merge that kernel essay structure you chose with a letter format. And your audience is either going to be parents of the students in your classroom or the principal at your school. So I've chosen a fictitious principal's name. I'm going to write to Mrs. Candy Cane, and I start my letter off like this. I say, this past summer, there were a plethora of posts floating around Facebook about teachers implementing no homework policy. Parents were responding very positively to these posts, and it had me wondering how valuable homework at the elementary level really is. So I decided to do some research. While there was plenty of evidence to suggest that up to 90 minutes of homework a day for high schoolers resulted in improved academic performance, little evidence could be found to suggest, and I would go on talking about how homework in regards to homework in the elementary classroom. So you're going to continue drafting this, pulling in your evidence and your commentary from that chart. This should not take you a super long time to do. This doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to sound like super crazy intelligent or like you're this wondrous researcher who's been doing this for years. The whole point of this homework assignment is to have you practice using multiple sources to write an argumentative text. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're looking to write maybe a 1 to 2 page letter. If it's spelling's not exactly 100% or your words aren't quite 100%, that's okay because we're not taking this all the way through the writing process, and I'm scoring it like it was your first draft. So wrap that up, do that in a Word document, and then I have it set up in groups in Blackboard so that only one of you needs to submit to the Dropbox. The only thing I need to see is your letter that is typed up in Word. I do not need you to submit the charts that you have completed. If you have any questions, shoot me an email.